Criminal Minds is a show that displays the work of the elite BAU team of profilers that use psychology and sociology to catch the serial killer, or unsub as they call it.
Do with serial killers? Trust me. We cover the whole spectrum of psychos.
Yes, Morgan, the BAU does more than just serial killers, but mainly for the show, it's serial killers. Now, we have to talk about the cast. So, we have this guy, Agent Gideon. Or, wait, no, that's the guy from Homelands. Okay, no. This is Agent Gideon. No, that's Inigo Montoya. Alright, this is Gideon. Now, he's more of the older, more experienced BAU profiler. He was the godfather of profiling. He takes Dr. Spencer Reed under his wing, tries to give him more confidence throughout the show, and also he's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, donated to charity. Now, speaking of Dr. Spencer Reed, he's the youngest one on the team. He kind of gets bullied a little bit on the fact that he is a lot younger than all of the other people. But in his character development, he really starts to shine. Now, Derek Morgan, you've already seen from my first clip. He's kind of the beefcake. Now, that's not to say that he's not a good profiler, or he doesn't try to be something that he's not, but a lot of the times he's kicking down doors. Now, next we have Aaron Hotchner, who is, if you were to close your eyes and I would just say the word G-Man, that's who you would see, is you would see Aaron Hotchner. He's very well-dressed. He keeps to the standards and practices of the FBI in terms of visual. He does get a lot more character development later on in the series, and he does get to the point where you're like, you really want to root for this guy. Next and last is Elle. Now, Elle, some people say she's annoying. I don't see it that much. I actually really enjoyed her as a character, but I do understand where they're coming from. She's not the best character, but I do really enjoy her back and forth with Reed and Morgan, and she does fit the team really well, but I understand why they got rid of her later on. Now we're going to get into the episode proper. Now, at the very beginning of this episode is perfect. It sets up the universe in such a great way by playing this music that just seems eerie. It just seems like something's wrong and you can't really put your finger on. Then they mess up by playing a really bad metal rendition of I Can Feel You Coming in the Air Tonight, and it feels weird. It doesn't fit. But anyway, this is the girl in question, and she's trying to find a Datsun Z, which, I mean, I get it, they are really nice cars. Anyway, so she meets up with this guy, and turns out he's the unsub. Now we have to find the unsub and also the girl before she gets killed. Next we see Aaron Hotchner and his wife with soon-to-be child. And they're talking about baby names. It's not very important because later on in the episodes, it really doesn't... They come back to it a little bit, but it's not that important. Next we have Agent Gideon as a teacher teaching young students about the behavioral analysis unit, different styles of profiling, and he goes over a very interesting case, the footpath killer. He talks about the footpath killer, about how he figured out who he was, how he talks, why he talks the way he does, and it will become more evident later on in this episode why this is a very important part. Now, next we see Spencer Reed. He walks in, tells him, hey, we've got a case, and FBI wants you. I get it. Again, he's a very smart guy, so that's why he's coming back from an extended medical leave. At one point, part of his team got blown up by a guy named Adrian Bale. And again, remember that name. He's going to become important here in the next couple episodes. Anyway, so now it's a race against the clock. We've got to figure out who's got this girl, where they've got this girl, and hopefully that she's still alive. Now, let's fast forward just a little bit. One of the best parts about it is in when they do the profiler. The profile, when they start talking about the profile, they have this green screen effect, and it's really great to kind of get you into the moment where they're not actually showing you the actual killer, but they're showing you a recreation of the killer as he's talking. And it's something that I really miss in the later seasons, but in these first couple of seasons, it's really great to see it. He talks about how most likely, and actually indefinitely, you've talked to this person who has abducted this girl. So, now we've got Elle walking up to this building. She knocks on the door. She says, hey, house sitting. The door was open. I'm not sure if I should go back in without somebody else coming with me. And so the old lady at the door goes, oh, well, let me get you my son. Hey, Richard, come down here. And so now you've got Richard and Elle going to another location. Knocks, goes inside, and the SWAT team attacks him. This is the first time you meet Elle in the show, and it's very smart because she says, oh, well, I don't send a SWAT team into a place that has children in it. Lead him out. They get him to start an interrogation to try to figure out who is the other person. He's too small to abduct somebody, and he just doesn't have the social capabilities to charm someone into their car. They do some research. They find out he's got a record. So they go back to the prison, and they start asking questions about his cellmate. Gideon realizes it wasn't the cellmate that's helping him out. It's the prison guard. And so now they've got to figure out a way to break Richard. So now they have a name. They do something that in a future season they copy, which is they took a box, put Timothy Vogel's name on it, and slid it in front of his face. So that way he kind of felt the heat. And that's great. I like that. And in a future episode, it's a lot funnier. But now they've got both killers, or at least they have an idea of both killers. In the meantime, Reed and Morgan were both trying to figure out how to hack into this guy's computer, because it's a very, it's deadbolt, can't get through it. Talks to Penelope, who will come into play a little bit later, but finds out that there's no way to hack it. He has to figure out the password within 6 tries. So they go through all of his different CDs, and eventually Reed opens up the disc tray, and oh, hey, look, it's a Metallica CD, Enter Sandman. So they get pictures of the victim on their screen, and it shows them in real time, at different times. It's basically taking a picture every couple of seconds. So now they know that she's still alive, but also, because of the way that the bulb was swinging, they realize that he's on a boat, and so now they have to go to a marina and make sure that the person doesn't die. Now, Timothy Vogel is already on his way to get the girl, and that's when, of course, because it's television, Gideon and Elle both make it to the dock at the right time. He's about to take her life, and Gideon does a really good job of taking him off his game by basically insulting his manliness. Then we find out that because of the Adrian Bale stuff, that Hotchner has been basically profiling Gideon the entire time during this investigation. Now, again, he tries his best to kind of, hey, I know what you're doing. I'm Gideon. I know what you're doing. So, because of that, they're talking on the plane, and they decide that he's fit to be in duty, right? Now, this is where the episode ends. Wait, no, this isn't where the episode ends. A little bit of a back thing? Is this an end credit scene? Oh, wait, no. Okay, so this is the scene where Gideon comes face to face with the Green River Killer and basically almost dies. And that's the end of the episode.
In conclusion, this episode does a great job of starting the series right. It does focus mainly on Gideon, but that works because he has a lot of experience and quote-unquote skeletons in the closet due to his years in the BAU. Plus, this episode serves as an example of the status quo of the team and how each one's strengths that are being utilized in the best way.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.